G'day listeners, Big V Podcast here talking Division 2 men. Now, Mark and myself, we're going to go over the offensive rating and defensive rating points per game. Now, Division 2 men, you can probably discuss these top three teams because they're on sort of the top margin in both of these areas. We've got Whittlesea first rated offensively and defensively. There's probably a reason as to why they are on top, and that's it.
Yeah, and there's a reason they're undefeated, and it's quite comfortably, like 5 points better than the next best team per game, and 4 points better each game defensively as well. So no surprise there. They've got firepower across the ball with Paddy Green, Breyer, Dirks. They're sort of a bunch of veteran guys who know how to play defense and know the importance of it, to win games.
Absolutely. They got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that are averaging over 10 points per game as well. So that's just adding to their firepower that any one of those guys can have their day.
Yeah, exactly. Makes it really hard to defend for some of those other teams.
Absolutely. Now, Mildura, who is sitting second in points per game, a team that probably didn't have the best start that they wanted to, but they've made their way all the way up to sort of that top area on the ladder. 94 points per game offensively.
Yeah, to be honest, they went completely under the radar for me. They've snuck up there. All the talk has been Whittlesea, Altona, Wallen, and they've just snuck up there. But when you look at their roster, they've got a bunch of guys who can just play. Like Dallas Brown has been playing in this league since he was probably about 12 years old. He shoots the ball really well, probably taking less attempts this season than he has in previous. But they've also added a Big V legend in Sammy Gazzo to the roster, and I won't mention how old he might be, but averaging 16 points a game and shooting the ball at a really good clip. And then you throw in a American import Cameron Gross, who just doesn't go out there and have huge 30 pieces or anything, but averaging 16 points to go with his 8.5 rebounds. It's just you just know what you're going to get every single week.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've got Altona, who is sitting second on the ladder. They're third offensively rated and fourth defensive rated. Trading buckets a little bit there, but that 93.8 points says, there's reasons as to why they're sitting as high as they are, and they're energetic and they play at a very fast pace.
They certainly do, and I think I had the opportunity to watch them out at Sherbrooke, and the way they move the ball and the way they've got several guys who can shoot the ball, effectively, their offense seems to be Nick Patel just beats their first defender, and then whoever relocates to get open gets the shot, and they shoot it, and it seems to be working pretty well for them. So there's no overcomplicating things for them.
No. Now, Sherbrooke, as you mentioned just before, Christian Solder home averaging 21.8 points per game. They're sitting fourth offensively rated. Now, this team, again, they don't play a hell of a lot of defense because they are sitting eighth, giving up 90 points per game, but they're scoring sort of at will, really.
Yeah. If they actually start to buy into the defensive aspects of the game, they will be. I feel they could be a team that makes a run in the second half of the season. But at the moment, whilst their offense is ticking along, they're not taking enough pride on the other end. And any game they have started to slow the offense from the other team, they've been fine, and they've led to wins. But they really need to address that clear difference between their offensive performance and their defensive performance in this league.
Yeah, maybe it's some transition stuff they might need to work on.
Potentially, yes.
What happens when the shot goes up?
What do you make of Wallen, 9th best offensive team, but sitting 4th on the ladder?
That's a very, very interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, it caught me by surprise big time. When you think of their players, they've got Lellerman, they've got Best, they've got Gorski, who can all shoot the ball. Now, that probably improved the back end of the year. Gorski hasn't shot the ball as cleanly as we're used to seeing. He's still shooting at 30%, but I'd expect him to love to push towards that 35, 40% as the season goes on.
Yeah.
We know Bruno can put the ball in the hole. It's a real surprise to see them 9th. I wonder if it's more so whether they're getting enough contribution off the bench to support some of those dynamic scorers. I'm not sure, Ted.
Yeah, me neither, really. I mean, some of the percentages, could go as to why they are sitting 9th. They're not amazing percentages. Like around the field, they are pretty consistent. Free throws are nice and high as they should be. But, field goal percentage probably could lift. So maybe they're just missing a few dummies here and there, which is affecting them.
Yeah, for sure. So let's have a quick look over at the defensive end and some of the standouts. I mean, clearly the top 4 are the 4 best defensive teams in the league, and that's no surprise. And then you sort of look at Maccabi. They're the 5th best defensive team, but they're sitting down in what I believe is 8th position. 8th position, but the 5th best defensive team. So 10th best offensive team. So they can't get it going offensively. Defensively, they're doing a serviceable job. Which keeps them in those games. What do you make of Melton, Ted?
Melton, they really need to be able to sort of find that clear difference of are they going to be that team in the second half that's going to put some more points on the scoreboard, or are they going to be that defensive dominant team? They're sitting 6th defensively, which isn't really that bad. They've done a good job there, but they can't be able to string wins together.
Well, when it keeps them, it's what's kept them in all those close ones. They've had a heap of close games, and if they can sort of get their offense going a little bit more and a few more contributors, they'll have a really good back end of the year. And watch out for them.
Absolutely. Look, that'll be all for us, guys. We'll catch you very, very soon. See you later.